Greetings, fellow seekers of the supernatural. I'll be your guide through the mysterious realm. In each episode, we'll unravel spine-tingling tales, explore haunted locations, and delve into the inexplicable. Brace yourselves for encounters with restless spirits, cryptids, and things that defy logic. So dim the lights, grab your sage, and join us as we peer into the darkness. Because the truth is stranger than fiction. Subscribe now and remember, the paranormal is among us.
Hey everybody, happy Saturday. How you doing, Krista?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. Off work.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Well, it's happy Saturday to everybody else. It's my Wednesday.
Yeah, it's your Wednesday.
It's my Wednesday. But you know what? It is what it is. It is.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see your live. I had work, but yeah, you guys went live. You and Brandy went live.
Mm-hmm. We just went on in BS. That's it.
Oh, cool.
We did nothing fancy, or
Those sometimes those are just more fun.
Yeah, we were just talking, just chit-chatting.
Yeah. Impromptu things.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep. And then tonight I got a Bigfoot Michigan Rob. He'll be on at 11 p.m. Central. And it'll be myself, Brandy, and Tex on there with him tonight.
Make sure you jump over there. 11 o'clock, you said Central?
11 o'clock Central time. Yep.
I will be sound asleep.
Yes,
unfortunately, I will miss that.
You can always catch the replay. That's what I was telling you.
That's the beauty of YouTube.
Yep.
Not that YouTube's all that great, but you can.
But you can always go back and watch or finish off where you left off.
That's right.
Yep. I don't watch anything really but YouTube.
Somebody at work was asking me, what's your favorite show on TV to watch? I'm like, you know what? I really don't watch any shows.
Right. What is that?
What's the TV? That's where you put the YouTube channel to see it really good, right? Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. So, hey, we got a really good show tonight for you. Barb Hartman is going to be joining us here in a few minutes to talk about Bigfoot and all kinds of fun stuff. She's sent me a bunch of videos and audio files and pictures and stuff. Fun stuff. We're going to get to that here in just a few minutes. Yep. But first, if you're looking for any kind of Paranormal Among Us merchandise, I got you covered. You go on over to Purple Penguin. There it comes on the screen. Purple Penguin Crafts and Creations.com. That's the back of a t-shirt. Pretty cool. It's the front of the t-shirt. She can ship it to just about anywhere. Pretty quick turnaround too. Really comfortable shirt. I'm wearing it right now. Minus all the dog hair that's on it.
I really need to talk to her. Does she do, I probably should ask you this off air, but does she do direct ship?
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
Like where you can do your own store and direct ship where people can go in.
I shouldn't say yes. I'll yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she can.
Because the lady we're using now, her prices are great, but oh my gosh, it takes forever to get your merch.
Yeah. Granted, she lives just like 10 minutes from me. But she had these shirts done in less than a week.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So if she's watching this, she's probably thinking, "Oh God, don't promise anything." So,
yeah.
But
we'll talk later.
Yeah, she's and you got the website and I'll give you her email address as well. She makes that little pillow, the little keychains. She told me she does bottle openers and other regular keychains and stuff, and magnets and stuff. Really, really, really cool stuff. So head on over to Purple Penguins Crafts and Creations. And while it's up on the screen here, I also have set up a Venmo account if you guys want to support the show. If not, no big deal. Watching it is more than enough. I'm happy to have you here. So there's that. It's and then we also have Ashmore. Krista, would you like to talk about that?
So it's May 18th and 19th, and Ashmore Estates in Ashmore, Illinois. We have Robin Terry, who owns the place. He's awesome. Most of you know Letitia Nunnelly. She's not a ghost girl, but we've kind of been converting her here slowly, very slow, but she's going to be there. And then our friend, the mermaid medium, Jessica Potter, she's awesome. Rachel Marie is awesome also. You, Paul, you're going to be there. You're awesome. And then Josh Hurd from he owns Malvern Manor, and that man is just an absolute hoot. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And you know, I really like Rachel's sleeve, her tattoo sleeve. I need
Rachel
to
is
talk to her
married
about that.
to like a world renowned winning tattoo artist.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never really, up
She
till
used to be married to one of the Booth brothers who shot a lot of the Waverly Hills movies, the Zombie Road movie documentary. She used to be married to.
Oh, really?
Booth. Mm-hmm.
You know, I turned 50, and all of a sudden I'm getting tattoos. I got 3 of them now. I didn't have them before, and all of a sudden I'm getting all tatted up, and my wife keeps looking at me like, "What is wrong with you? What are you doing?" But
it's your like midlife crisis, maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy a Corvette next.
I did.
You bought a Corvette?
Well, not recently, but yeah.
Oh.
I've had 2.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring Barb on here.
Yes.
Hi, Barb.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Hi, everybody in the chat.
How you doing?
Good.
And Catherine, yes, tattoos are addicting.
Yes. Yes. You know what? Paul, I had the same thing. My daughter, she's 24 now. Why do once they get beyond a certain age, it's like, I have no idea how old my kids are. But she from the time she was a baby, couldn't wait to get like enamored with tattoos and couldn't wait to get one. And I'm like, well, you're definitely going to be 18. Something's not, it's removable, whatever. But so she said, when I turned 50, she's like, Mom, would you please get one? Because, she said we could get a matching one. So we did. Wait, where is it? Yeah. And then I had to get another one. Wait, which is it?
Bigfoot.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I like that one.
I got that for Christmas last year.
That's awesome.
But you get addicted. Once I was sure that this is what I was dealing with here, I'm like, well,
both of my grown kids are like all tattooed up. My daughter, she has a sleeve also. And then my son, he's working on his sleeve and he's got some going down his leg, and But you know what though? I think they're works of art. I really do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as long as they mean something to you, I mean,
right. And they're not there, and they look better than jailhouse tattoos. Because I have one tattoo, and the one I had was done 30 years ago, and it looks like a jailhouse tattoo now.
Oh no. And I always thought that they're going to hurt so bad and everything, and they didn't really hurt.
Yeah,
I don't like needles to begin with.
Yeah, I don't either. But
and then I'm thinking,
the one here, the Bigfoot, that hurt because it was like it's solid, like black. Right. But I mean, it wasn't like unbearable. But I was glad when he was done. But this, the one over here, I guess it depends on what. But where are your tattoos, Paul?
So I got one here.
Okay.
So when I grew up, I watched every time I was sick at home and not going to school. I always had to watch Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. And so I got this Star Wars language.
Oh, cool.
And yes, it is a language. And it's family is everything. I love Tammy and Thomas, my wife and son.
Aw, cool. That's awesome.
And then I have one on each shoulder. And as it got closer to the elbow, it hurt. And up on top of the shoulder, it started hurting.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
You've tuned into Tattoo Talk.
Yes.
Well, this here, I'm gonna put this comment up. Glenn says, I have a tattoo on my
head. That's great.
That's funny.
Please do not send pictures, Glenn.
Yeah.
My son had a onesie and that my wife's uncle gave him, and it had on the front, it said intake with an arrow pointing out, and on the back, outtake.
Great. I love it.
That's
great.
Okay.
All righty, let's talk some Bigfoot.
How do we transition in? Oh, Bigfoot! You got a big fat tattoo.
Yeah. Big fat Bigfoot tattoo.
Well, we'll forgive you, Paul. You worked today. You're tired.
I did. Stomach flu's going around work too, and I'm getting.
Oh no!
People are dropping left and right. So anyway, Barb, you're up in the Great Northwest, correct? Up in Washington.
Mm-hmm. Washington State, yes, and I'm in Pierce County, which is the number one, has the number one like reports of Bigfoot in the nation. So, what did I think? Why would I think that they wouldn't be in my?
And you moved there from North Carolina? Did you say?
No, we moved here from Illinois. But then prior to that, we were in Tennessee. And then we've moved around a lot. My husband and I were both born and raised in Pennsylvania. And so we went all these places with our jobs and then finally settled out here in 2017. And this is going to be our forever, home. We bought a house on the Puget Sound and it's, we're kind of, turning it into our dream home. So,
very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, when you moved up there, did you realize what you were getting into up there?
I thought it was cool. My son had actually said, "Hey, Mom, do you know, look up your the county that you're moving to?" And because he knew I've always been I don't want to say obsessed, but I've always been enamored or whatever with the subject of Bigfoot and Loch Ness. Mm-hmm. They're my things, So I thought it was cool, but I just didn't think that they were going to be living. They're literally like next to me, living in the woods, like around me. I just didn't think that. I thought they would be way out, I don't know, out by the mountain, up in the mountains and all that, So I have to say that really, yeah.
Hang on a second. Yeah. And you've had them on your property.
Yeah. Yeah. Just real quick, I'll go just, kind of, we moved here in September into the house in September of 2017. And in March of 2018, my husband actually found these big footprints under our house. We live, the house is situated on a pretty steep lot that goes, it's like flat from the road and then it goes down, and that's what the house is on that steep embankment, and then flatten out again, and then there's a cliff, and then the Puget Sound, and so there is an area of the house that's underneath that's completely exposed, and there's some like gravel and some soft dirt under there, and then that's what he saw, these big footprints. I think they were like 18 to 20 inches. I don't remember. You know what? I should have.
Is that one of the pictures that you sent me?
No, I did not send. Yeah.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
Okay.
That. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have that, but it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. But, so I was the one, like I said, I was the one that always was more enamored with them. And so, he kind of knew what to look for. I'd make him watch, the documentaries with me. And so he saw these prints, and he said he walked by them like several times, and then finally he's like, I gotta tell her. So now he grew up on a farm, and he's grew up out in the country, was a hunter, and is very familiar with wildlife and wildlife prints and things like that. So he said, Barb, I don't know what else. Like, I don't know what else this could be. This looks like nothing that I've ever seen. It looks it is like a big bare footprint, because it you could see the toes and everything. And so, the other thing that he found around that time was, like I said, we're on the Puget Sound. So we have a beach, and it's rocky, and there's some quite a substantial boulders that are kind of embedded down. And he had found some of them like flipped over. You cannot do that. You need equipment to do that, some sort of heavy equipment. So that was, that was weird. That was really, so that was the first.
Have you always been a Bigfoot believer, or were you always kind of skeptical about it? And what about your husband too?
He, I've always, you know what, I wanted to believe. That's what I guess I'd say. I always thought, I was always very interested in the subject. My dad, and I would watch, watch documentaries with my dad. We watched the Legend of Boggy Creek. And he showed me the Patterson film. So it was really something that I've always been interested in. My husband, no, not really. But I mean, he's always was open to the fact that they could exist. But honestly, I guess, I don't even know how to explain this. When you're something that you want to believe in and you think it's really cool, and I thought the subject is so fascinating and interesting, but it's scary when it's like, okay, wow, they exist, and there's no way that they do. But after the footprint, and what we had kind of thought is, well, our house sat vacant for so long that we thought maybe with people, they were kind of interested with seeing people move in and whatever. And I just thought it was one passing through, maybe that's what they do. They migrate around. But we really didn't have anything until, let me see, that was March. And so then March, a few years later, that we found more like evidence. But in the middle of that, I'd taken a camping trip we'd taken a camping trip to Gifford Pinchot National Forest, which is just a very primitive, it's between Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens, and it's just very, very well known for Sasquatch, or Bigfoot. Yeah. So we went one night, just it's called disbursement camping, which is just like you just go drive and find a spot. And in the middle of the night, I was awakened by these screams, like human but inhuman, just terrifying screams. And I had told Krista about this. I'd say there were like 6 to 8 creatures kind of screaming back and forth, yelling back and forth at each other. Terrifying. I mean, I was so terrified. I was with my husband and my son and my daughter-in-law. Nobody else heard it but me. And I had my phone was in the car because we had no service. So I just left it in the car, and there's just no way I was getting out of the tent to try to record it. It just wasn't, that just wasn't meant to be. But and then I didn't even say anything to anybody until I came home, because I wanted to keep the memory of what I heard in my head so I could literally go through everything that I thought it potentially could be and rule it out. As I was laying there listening to it, I was ruling it out. Like, well, it's definitely not bears, blah, 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 But so I came home and I couldn't, there was nothing. There's no wildlife that sounded like that. And actually, I couldn't even find any Bigfoot calls that sounded like that. About maybe a year or two later, I finally found some, and it was the Ohio screams. I believe they are. I don't. But that was like, okay, wait, that is what I heard. That was what I heard.
Sweet.
So, yeah. And then, let's see. So, from the camping trip, and then in December of 2021, we had a big snowstorm right after Christmas. Everybody was kind of like, just like socks. I mean, we were snowed in because we don't get snow here. It's quite temperate. We get a lot of rain, but we don't really get snow. So we decided to take a walk in the woods, which I would do very frequently. I love it over there. And we found this neat little, looked almost like a wood igloo. And I did send you a picture of that. And it was about, it's still there. It's about maybe 5 feet high. Yeah, it looked literally like a igloo made with a bunch of sticks and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see it?
I think that's, moved it to the wrong side. This one?
Yes, that one. Yeah. Yeah. And so that is it with that, like without the snow, because the one that I took, that I taken picture that day when we found it, and my son, he crawled in and he said it wasn't very big inside, but there was an area of it that he said he felt like if he like dug down where against the tree, it may have been deeper. And he's like, and I'm like, no, just get out of there. Please get out of there. Because we didn't know if it was a den. Like, who knows? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But since then, I feel like that's really a like a hot spot. They really hang out there in that area. So on just about any given day, I can go out and stand at the tree line and like look in at that area and see something going on. Now it's about like 60 to 80 yards. So I'm not getting, crystal clear, like of what's going on. But definitely you can see the movement. Sometimes I've gotten quite clear like videos, but it's just, it just depends on whether because I now I'll always say hello, how's everybody doing? And I try not to go during the hours when they say they sleep. They say they supposedly sleep from like 10:30 till about 4:30. And so, so I try to be respectful of that because I really want to have a respectful, relationship with them. I don't want them coming into my house.
Don't want to piss them off. No.
No.
Right.
Yeah. So, so then, all right. So that was in December, 2021. Wow. Can you imagine? Like, doesn't it seem like it's like 2020 like messed up everybody's concept of time, right? Like, oh my gosh.
It seemed like COVID was just yesterday, and now it's what, 4 years ago when it started?
Right. It's so bizarre. So then in March of 2022, which again, it's funny, it's like this March, month, they become so, I guess, active. I don't know. And we found one of a hillside that is planted with this really tough, it's called kinnick or winterberry. It's like a really tough woody vine that is almost, I mean, you need some heavy duty like clippers, to clip this stuff. And it was the whole, like this large area, it was pulled out and it was just ripped apart. And now the only thing that we thought that could possibly have done that would have been a bear, but we have a perimeter of cameras on the property. And I don't know how a bear could have gotten into that, to do that. I mean, we don't know how it could have.
Was it that one?
Oh, no, that's something else. But I can tell you about that. That is actually what they do is they build these things. Bunkers is what some people call them. They take, they'll take a tree. Now this is how this is built up. So as you're looking at this tree, there's a hill that goes down. It's a pretty steep hill. It's probably about 10 feet down. And just beyond that is like all this swampy stuff. But they just take sticks and I mean, some of them are pretty big pieces of the tree, and they just kind of pile them, and then they just throw junk. I mean, and now this thing showed up like overnight, and it's about maybe a quarter mile from my house, but we have so I live in a very, very rural area, and there's off the main road, that's about a mile away. Off the main road, you kind of take this like meandering through this forest. And that is right along the road. Now, people, people, we live back here. There's not a bunch of us though. So there's not a bunch of traffic, but there's people, walking with dogs. And I feel like this is a perfect thing that they can just hide out in there and look, and kind of watch what's going on. So, and then there's another photo that I had put the back side of it because that's where it looks similar to that. There's like an opening.
That one?
No, that is a street. That's a tree structure. One of the tree structures.
Two of the same here. So that's
these trees, like, in the Pacific Northwest, they're so tall. They're so tall and they're so massive. And these things just show up overnight. Like, what?
Oh,
it's just so
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the back.
Oh, wow.
Side of it. So, yeah. So it's a perfect spot. Big area for them to. And now since this, I discovered this in June, and I don't know if there's anything in there. Yeah, there was one. There's a picture that I had of one, but I think it's on a video because I have some of this stuff on. I have a YouTube channel, very small YouTube channel, and it looked like there was a face kind of peeking out like a nose and the eyes, but it was very human looking. The Sasquatch I have here. Oh, now that is my favorite picture that I got. Let me see if I don't know. I don't have it written down. Oh, do I? Let me think when I got that. That was it's been within the last couple of months. And I could hear some movement. It's right off of our deck. I go out on the side deck. I heard some movement in the wood line, and I just taking a video, and this thing popped up, and he looks like a grumpy Sasquatch.
It does. It almost also looks like a sniper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah. I don't know which is more frightening.
I know, right? You're right. Yeah. So that's probably that's one of my favorites.
Okay, I have a question for you, real quick.
Yeah.
So I've never been to Washington, so I'm not sure like the terrain. So here in Missouri, like in the fall, we lose leaves, so you can see through everything. Does Washington do that, or does it ever? It does.
Yep. Yeah, we do. We have all 4 seasons, and then you lose the trees, and so you can definitely see further into further into the forest then. Right. So and I don't think there were leaves on the tree in that picture, right? I don't think so, but there's a lot of we have a lot of pine and fir and cedar, so that's that they'd never lose those. They do lose some of the needles throughout at certain times of the year, but typically they're very dense.
Right. Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, you mentioned this before, the audio that you have of someone saying, was it "get out"?
Go hide.
Go hide.
So before you, let me just give a little. Okay. This was one of the audio. How I get the audio is we have just Arlo home security cameras. I have an app on my phone. We have them at several points around. We have one up at the front, like the driveway. We have one on the top deck, and then one on the bottom deck. And what was happening was that I was getting motion alerts. I mean, I get one after another, on and on. I'm like, what is going on? And this was right around the time when everything just started to ramp up. And it was like, what is happening? There was nothing on. Then I found out that I can actually manually, I don't have to wait for motion, right? I can manually watch. So that's what I started to do is manually watch if I would get a notification. And then you get addicted to it because I was started to get pretty cool audio really pretty quickly. And now all of the audio that I have given you it's all been has spectrogram, been run through a spectrogram or whatever. So it is definitely outside of the, it's 600, 650, and hertz and above because it's above the wow. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
So with the one that you asked me about. So with this one, I had put it on my Chris Hensley had actually done the spectrogram, and he had done the first he kind of cleaned it up and amplified it. And so I put it on my channel or my Facebook page. And right away, a couple people like messaged me and said, were there like humans? Because they could hear like human voices. And I'm like, no, this was 3 o'clock in the morning. There's definitely, everyone's asleep. Definitely no humans that you're hearing. And maybe it's kind of whatever it is, pareidoia to the ears, maybe it's just that. But so then one of my other friends, JJ Squatchman, he said, I feel like I could like play with this a little bit and I might be able to bring out what he also thought that he could hear voice. And so then whatever he did, it was like, oh yeah, then it was apparent. So that one is, let me see.
Got it right here.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Here it is.
I can hear go hide.
Yeah.
And so that one, if you continue on, and I kind of just looped it, so we could hear. Or
okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. No, JJ did that, so you could hear it. So, but then continuing on, it does seem like there's some sort of a possibly like confrontation going on, and so I don't know if it's something like, okay, did they know that I was watching them, and then somebody said to go hide, or was there something else that was happening? Because I heard this on my on our lower deck camera, and then it kind of like the audio started to like fade, and so I thought, well, let me go to my top deck, and then I could hear. So you will hear a change, because it was they were moving, whatever was happening. There was like movement.
Okay. We did have a question on here
sure.
from Jason Finch.
Oh yeah, I kind of Lacey Washington. Yes. Jason, I am on the Key Peninsula. So yeah, and actually you're in Lacey. Oh my gosh, like JBLM, Joint Base Lewis McChord. I just heard today there's at least 70 confirmed like beings, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever, that live on that, like live there, almost like a sanctuary. And I'd heard that before, but it never had been confirmed. But I got confirmation today from somebody that had worked there, and he was a commanding officer, and so he said, "Yeah, I can tell you that is exactly what happened." And we were told not to shoot at them unless they're, menacing or threatening or whatever. He said, and then we were, then just do what you have to do to protect yourself. But it's there's such a large base that that they really haven't caused. There hasn't been any problems except a lot of sightings. So.
Yeah. Do you have any desire, Barb, to go outside of your area and go out, further out in the middle of nowhere and do any type of research? Or
I don't have to do that. And I mean that's the thing. And it's and I know I hate that. It makes me feel bad because I know that people, they have to go out and they have to travel hours and I don't have to.
Right. You just walk out your back door.
Yeah. And
put on the back deck.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, a little jealous, just saying.
I'm sorry. And I discovered just by my daughter and I started to walk in different areas as the weather's has gotten better, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there I can see evidence of them the other way. Like I leave the house and I go right or left, and so but there's a lot of heavy deep woods, and so what is ideal is that what I live next to is also like a preserve. It's a family. It's this land that's in a family trust, and so it can't be built on. And it's heavily guarded. Like there's black SUVs that are. I mean, they're employees of the farm, and of this trust, and that because at one time they had a problem with like squatters, with like people trying to like camp and then building up like, meth labs in the woods and stuff. So, so they have cameras around at the entrances. So, like that's to me is so comforting because, I know nobody can come in and I have permission and I don't want to lose that permission, but I have permission, to go, and to walk in there. And I'm glad about that because like, I wouldn't want anybody to, to come in and threaten or, what I mean? Anything like that.
Right.
Like them or, so.
Now, do you have any problems with pets in your area getting lost or taken by either Dogman or Sasquatch?
No, let's see. Not really. The other thing is that there's a coyote population. Mm-hmm. So anything that go, and then we have eagles and osprey, hawks, so big like raptor type animals. Mm-hmm. So any cat or small animal that would go missing, that would be blamed on that. So and then a lot of the farms will have the big guardian dogs. I'm trying like Anatolian shepherds and Great Pyrenees. There's a lot of them, so they're not. But I haven't heard of them going missing. But there is a very famous 911 call that you two may have heard, where the guy said like, "Hey, you got to get somebody out here." Okay, that was like supposedly happened 5 miles from where.
Wow.
Yeah. So he said that a dog. They killed his dog, but we have a dog, but I'm very like careful, with it, and we just keep him on a leash actually because I would hate to have him run off. But I have said to them, I'll go out, like I've gone out and said, do not hurt my family and do not hurt my dog. Yeah. We're going to have problems,
Right.
First, I'm not going to hurt, So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, man.
Right.
I just, like I said earlier, I'm jealous of you. I would love to walk out my backyard and have them.
So, so what happened, like when I knew that irrefutable that they're here, is that I got, like huffed or grunted at, one day when I was over there and, like in the area, and it was near that like wood igloo kind of thing. And I actually was fortunate enough to get that on. I was able to record that. I just had my phone like hanging around my neck, on a lanyard, and I just had that going. Because what had happened, is that we were cleaning up, the kind of the brush and stuff next to us, kind of making it like fire safe. Right. And, they must not have liked that because I don't know, within a day, 2 days, we come out and there's a big like break, like a big tree, like branch is like broken. And then a couple days after that, there was another one. It wasn't broken, but it had been bent and forming the big X. And then just like you could see all the vines and the ferns, like they just kept adding to it. So my friend Mike Scott, he said, hey, why don't you, I feel like you might need to go out and investigate that area where that little wood igloo is and see if you can find anything. But he's like, I'll tell you, if you want to see one though, you're not going to want to take your phone with you. So you definitely don't want to do that. And I was like, well, I definitely don't want to see one. So I'm going to take my phone with me because I wasn't ready. I was that. Woof. So, So, but that day I went out and I spent about an hour in there, just in other areas. Cause it's a couple acres. I really don't know how big the area is. There's a lot of like deep ravines. And, but when I saved the part where the wood igloo is, I saved that for last. And, when I got close to that is where I heard it was like and I stopped, and backed up and I thought, wait, was that what I thought it was? I mean, what else? I could hear it like I could feel it in my chest. Like if you're watching a parade and you feel like the sirens that like,
the band coming through. Yeah.
Yeah, that, and that's what I felt that, and it wasn't even that loud, but I still felt it. And then I thought, oh no, I'm not. I'm just gonna leave. Like no. So I walked. As I'm walking away, I got hit with, which I found out later was, I guess, infrasound, because it was like this feeling of complete like I was completely had no idea, like dizzy, vertigo, like sick to my stomach, but not like I'm going to vomit. But I mean, I was like, what happened? I'm thinking, did I have a stroke? Am I having a heart attack? What's going on?
Right.
I was really scared. And then it just like the feeling left me, and it was like normal. It was weird. It was just like shut off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the way that I was walking wasn't even like back to my house. So
Wow.
I guess, I don't know. I'm thinking, did they know that what I honestly think is that there were babies there or, juveniles, and they weren't, and they just thought,
you got a little too close, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. She's going to go fall down a ravine. And then there'll be a bunch of people in here looking for her. So corrected my course, but so I'm walking back and but then it hit me again. So they weren't messing around. And I could see the roof of it's like a carport that we have right at the edge of the property. And I just kept looking at that roof line, like, Barb, walk, just keep walking. And then right when I got to the property line, I mean, it was gone completely. I didn't have any like after effects or anything.
So when you first moved out there and you started getting all these experiences and encounters, what was going through your head? Like, what in the world did I just do?
It still is. It's exciting. I've now become so obsessed with it. And it's kind of like, you almost like I don't want to talk to, this is terrible. I don't want to talk to anybody about anything but Bigfoot. I'm like one of those kind of weirdos.
I know the feeling, man.
Yeah. But it's also scary. And sometimes it's really, it's stressful. But I wouldn't trade it. I certainly, and I think that they've almost like prepared me for, first of all, for like seeing them, because I've seen 4 now with my like naked eye. And the first one I saw was in December. I don't know, probably 22. Yeah, December 22 of 2022. And I thought it was like a part of it. I thought it was like a part of a tree. Like I just thought it was like a stump. And as I got closer and I looked through my camera lens and like zoomed in, I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like it's a person, but the face was like tree bark. And so I thought, is that just like an illusion? Like this stump looks, so I, did a video on it and took a couple pictures. And then, when I got home and played it on my television, I'm like, whoa, no, that really looks like, and you could even see it, like it turned just slightly. I mean, just very slightly. And I'm like, oh, wow, I think it looks so much like tree bark, though. It was so bizarre. And so I went out 2 days later and tried to find it. It wasn't there. So obviously that was something. The face was very human, like almost like Native American bone structure. That was not ape or whatever, like at all. Like I have most of them here, I think they do look like apes. But obviously smarter than, so I don't think they're just great apes or whatever, giant apes. Then the next one I saw was, it was a young one she was completely, what I think is it was a female, like a juvenile, maybe an older juvenile or a young adult. I'm thinking a female. She had a baby that she was holding, and she had it kind of like hitched up on her hip, like you hold, and she kind of, like, as I looked in, she kind of stood, not really stood up, like seemed like she was trying to show me the baby. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And I even said, oh my gosh, I can see the baby. It's so cute. The baby was all black hair, like the whole, like all black. What was odd about this adult or the juvenile was that it had black hair that was like sticking straight out around, like as if you'd have somebody was wearing like a hood, with fur. Mm-hmm. And that's what it was like, sticking straight out all around. But that was, and then the last one that I saw was the most recent one. That was in August. And that one was, I was just walking along the tree line and videotaping. It was at dusk. And because I could see that they were like in the area where the big X's on the property line that I said that they had made, they were like back in there. And I thought, I'm going to see if I can maybe, catch a glimpse of them. And so I'm just about done. I thought, oh, let me just like take a look inside these trees. Like it's like a kind of like brush that hangs down over. I said, let me just take a look. Well, so my camera, is adjusting because it's pitch black. And as soon as my the camera adjusts, there's one sitting there. It's about, I don't know, 6 to 8 feet from me. And I was like, oh, I screamed and ran. And it looked.
What did it do?
What it did is it had, wait, I don't know if you can see me. Oops, sorry. It had like,
are you good there, Barb?
It has that's how you, like, its legs. Okay. It looked like Chewbacca, first of all, but it was auburn colored. And it had like this, and it has like its knees. It was like, had its knees like up to its arm, up to, and it had its hands like this, like, and all I could see, that's all I could see was like from the eyes up. And when we kind of like, immediately it went down like that, but I saw that it had either white hair around, or maybe it was just like bald patches where the eyes were, because the face was completely like brown hair, was, and so maybe, I don't know if it was white hair or white skin, I'm not sure, but I do remember that like distinctly, these two like almost like glasses, and so it surprised me. And I'm gonna guess it was like about maybe 6.5, 7 feet tall. I don't know. I know that it was, and super long arms and legs, but it wasn't massive. So I know it wasn't like like an adult, a full blown adult.
Yeah.
Because it was tall, but it certainly wasn't like they say like massive.
Right. Got a couple questions for you before we get to more of your videos that you sent me. Catherine says, Barb, tell them about the time you took pictures with your back to them.
Yeah, I did that. I did that, the selfie method. I tried that. And it's not that successful, but the first time I did it, man, I don't know if they may not have caught on to what I was doing, but there were so many, and I did it with the video, and there were so many that showed up behind me, like peeking at, like, what is she doing? Do you know what I'm talking about? You basically take your phone and and that was successful, but they've caught on. So that doesn't really work that much now. What I do, basically what I do is I go and I go to the wood line, and I introduce I say, hi, I'm here, and I'm going to come in like this far. I'm just visiting for a few minutes or whatever. And so that's what I do. And then I'll say, like, I'm going to take out my camera now. Like, if anybody wants to get on, show me, you want to get on film or whatever, camera. Show yourself. If you want to, you have any, but to show any new babies or whatever to show. And so sometimes, but I'll walk around, like filming and talking about things. And that is another good time to get them, because I think that they're interested in what I'm doing, but they do know that I have the camera. So I'll get some fairly clear, real brief glimpses of them.
You're going to be the one that's going to get them with the weird poses. You're going to see Bigfoot. Hi.
Well,
Hi.
oh my gosh. Well,
That
this
was
is
weird.
okay. Now here's where the weird stuff comes in, right? Like with the hey, like well, go hide, okay?
Yeah.
You know, I started out thinking that they were apes. They were these big, elusive apes, is what I thought. But then the stuff that started to happen around that, that's not they. I think that they definitely can either cloak or camouflage. I think that mine is supposedly Sasquatch. I've been told that they're Sasquatch. They're not Bigfoot, and I guess there's a difference. And so I think that the Bigfoot have more like powers, whatever, supernatural powers. I believe.
Okay.
In Sasquatch, not so much, but they do have some abilities. You know, they're as intelligent as in touch with humans, but not, you know, they're not like the Bigfoot are supposedly the ones that can just come and go, you know, through, I don't know, portals. I don't know.
I didn't know there was a difference.
I didn't either. I thought
didn't
they
either.
were the same.
Yeah.
I didn't either. But a couple of people that I trust, that, you know, there's a few people that say that they claim that they can communicate with them, and it's like, just like with a psychic, you know, confirmed what they'd say, like, oh, you know, like you have I'm trying to think, at one point like 17, and then there's like babies that are, you know, two of the women are pregnant, and then I'm like, well, and this woman didn't even know anything about me, like didn't even know. I'm like, what do you think? Do you think I have any Bigfoot living around me? She's like, oh yeah, you have 2 clans, and you know this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she didn't know anything about me,
Wow.
and just things like that. And then so another person had said she did that, like almost like a remote reading, but it wasn't exactly that. She just, I don't know, whatever she did, but she said, you don't have Bigfoot, you have Sasquatch. And I'm like, I didn't know that there was a difference, but
I didn't either. I had no idea.
Yeah. So I just looked it up on U.S. Department of Mythical Wildlife. This was from August 27th of 2017. Simple answer is, I said, what's the difference between Sasquatch and Bigfoot? The simple answer is no. The Bigfoot creature is known from the Pacific Northwest. It's just another name for Sasquatch. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's what I would.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, and so I will refer to them as Bigfoot or Sasquatch,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay. So Pamela is saying,
But-
yeah, Bigfoot are earthborn and Sasquatch are hybrids. So so that's what I've been told. But I thought that,
I
like,
heard that.
Pamela, did you hear the same thing as far as, and a couple of people have told me that in Tennessee, Kentucky, the guys at Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot, they had told me, they had explained it kind of in depth, and I should, when I was interviewing them, I should have taken, I mean, it's on the show, so I can just go back and watch the show, but
Yeah.
Right, Poncho? Either way, they're huge.
yeah.
And I think I want to see them from afar. I'm good.
And he asked, do I think they're more human?
Here we
Yeah,
go.
I definitely think, I do think that they're, I mean, obviously they're hybrids. I agree with the findings of the Bigfoot DNA project with Dr. Ketchum and you know, the DNA. I agree. I feel like that makes the most sense, because it basically is like, okay, the mom was human, but the father is of unknown origin, and that's and that just makes perfect sense to me. And I definitely think that there's you know, whether it was, I don't know, there's got to be some ape or something. I don't know why some of them look so, they look like something, like the one, the grumpy guy, he kind of reminded me like a silverback gorilla face, you know. But I've seen, but I have seen that are very human looking, with like almost like a Native American bone structure. But I also have seen one that looked almost like a lion face, like a like a more of like a broad, flat nose, and then I don't know, like I'm thinking, like, was it maybe he has like a cleft palate or something, you know? I mean, definitely there was like a, you know, but so
Interesting.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. Okay, let's you had sent me a bunch of video clips.
Okay.
I want to get to as many as we can. Any particular one you want to start with? Because I really don't have them labeled and stuff.
It doesn't matter if you tell me like how much, like how long they are, I can explain. Like whatever you pull up, before you play it, we'll take a look at
Real
it.
quick, Barb
Yes.
Gene Hudson asked Barb, "How is the new baby?"
Oh, I
sorry,
think
Gene.
not my it's not my new baby. Thank God. No, no. I think that I saw Gene. Are you on my? I don't know if you're on my Facebook page. If you're not, please join on my No Drama Bigfoot Encrypted, because I got a picture, I believe, of the baby. What was one of the, I sent you a picture, Paul, of this. And I think it has a red arrow. So if you can bring that one up.
Oh, that
maybe I'm sorry if I'm like putting you out of.
Oh no, not at all.
Okay, good.
So
thank you.
Get this one here. Share. Okay, so it's not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
It has like a little arrow. I know it has
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oop, hang on 1 second.
Hey, you're better than me. I cannot figure out.
I have it here. I know I do. I know you sent it to me. I saw it this morning. Well, not this morning, this afternoon when you sent it to me. It had an arrow on it. I remember seeing, there's the one with the circle.
On a show.
Now you're under pressure.
It's okay.
If anybody else is singing the Queen song, please.
With this one, as you're finding it, with this one was this little thing showed up in a video, and it was just a snippet of a video, and what I do is I will go through almost like frame by frame, looking for movement or little things, that aren't just aren't apparent. And I saw this little thing, and it was looked like a little blonde, like a cherub almost, with this blonde hair. And I thought, now what in the world is that? Like, what is that now? And it seemed like it was too small to be a Sasquatch, or, and it was too human. I mean, it looked just like a little blonde human baby with like blue eyes. And, but then when I went back and, recreated like where it was sitting, then I realized it wasn't as small as I thought it was. And, then a couple people had said, no, they said that they're born. I think Gene was one of them that said when they're born, they have just this like white fur or hair that they're covered with, and so it's very fine. And so she thought that it looked like a Sasquatch baby. And so
I am not finding it. I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
I remember you sent it to me. Although there was one that came up, was unsent.
Oh, yes, because you know what? And I wonder if that was the one. Let me check, because there was one that went through, and then it was like this photo is no longer available. Like what? Oh. Like, well, I'm the source, so I would be the one. So I did. Let me see. Anyway, okay. Well, yeah, we can. Well, so
just pretend you're looking at a picture with an arrow on it.
So basically, it was cute. And there again, I have that on my Facebook page. But it was a cute little baby, just kind of like peeking around. Then let me see. I kind of did a little bit of trying to recreate how big was the baby. Found out, yes, it was probably a newborn, and then about maybe a week after that, I got what looked like a picture of this little blonde baby being held by one back in that area where I said they all hang out.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay,
That's funny if that was removed. See, I feel like
I think it was, because
yeah,
it was right in that time frame that you sent those. I mean, I don't remember exactly what order, but there was one missing.
So it makes, when people say that they'll like remove things that they don't.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
It
wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Weird. No, because it was, I'm the source, but like I have things like that. The photo of what looks like an Indian brave, a Native American warrior. So it's just this weird stuff.
Okay, so this first one is 1:45.
Okay, that is. I believe that this is the large alpha male, and I heard him. I think this is the one. I heard him on the driveway camera, and he's grunting. But at the end, there's a weird, like I don't know what it could be. It literally sounds like a spaceship, like what you would think, like woo, or like a portal opening. I don't know. I don't know what it could be.
Here we go.
Oh, you didn't get to
We couldn't hear what you were saying. We
couldn't hear what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you were muted.
Oh no, sorry. The whole time oh God, I'm sorry. All right. So
you're a
oh God, I know. I'm like so animated telling about. Okay. Okay. So that one, I'm sorry. That was that one. I was going to bed and I thought I'm gonna just look at the camera, and I thought like on the lower deck, because they will kind of sit under that deck, and I can literally see them on the camera sitting around some nights. And I thought, wow, that looks like one sitting there, and I'm going to turn the light on and see what happens. So I did, and it's like all of what you would say like a cloaking. It was kind of like the whole picture got fuzzy, like where that thing was sitting. And so I shut off the light, and I was gonna and I have my phone, I'm watching on my phone at the time. So as I open the door and I'm gonna come and peek out, but then I see that it's fuzzy, and I'm like, okay. So I just kind of put my head out, didn't see anything. So I just closed the door, and it's like the level down below this is below me. So I wouldn't have been able to see really anyway. But so I closed the slider. And then after I closed the slider, so you can hear that, like, that's when all that other noise was going on. I don't know, but anyway.
Okay, I put your there's your Facebook group page.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I should have labeled it better.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So what's up next? Because I feel like that was one of the lamer. Honestly.
Okay, so this next one is 1:01.
All right. I think that this is this the day during the day? Is it daylight?
Yes, it's the daytime.
Okay. So what was happening with this is my husband and I were out on the back deck. It's the middle of the day, and I heard this odd like a whoop. Mine are not vocal like that. Like they don't whoop, So I said to my husband, "What is that? Like is that like a truck?" Or because there were like construction vehicles and a garbage truck was going by. And my husband, who's like a certified mechanic, he's like, "No, that's definitely not." So he's like, "Are you recording it?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So that's what you'll hear.
Now, if I do share screen, would that put audio through here? So you won't be muted. You can talk over it.
No, I don't. It doesn't matter. I don't have to talk.
Okay.
I'll just keep my mouth shut.
Right. Hang on.
Wow.
Yes, you hear that whoop, and I've
Sure did.
I've since heard that once at night, and I was able to get it on just a real short snippet, and it was really, really low. So I didn't it wasn't worth it to have it amplified or anything. But I talked to, I asked a friend of mine that said that her females are very vocal, and she said, yeah, that's definitely like a female call.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Interesting.
Very beautiful and relaxing there too.
But again, that's one of the kind of lamer ones too.
All right. So
I'm gonna get to the good one.
The next one, okay, the black and white one at minute 6.
Okay. This sounds like the alpha male or one of the adults is communicating with either a child or a female, which has like a high pitch, like a squeaking or like a squealing noise. But you'll hear the adult like, ooh, ooh.
Okay.
How does that go again?
I'm not very good at it.
Sorry. To do that.
No, I'm not very good at it. Oh, this isn't the one.
But we can talk over it though. Why
Yeah,
don't
we
we-
Okay.
This one.
What? Okay. See this black thing laying there between the trees. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna wait. I guess I'm gonna
Okay,
try
I
to-
do see. Yes.
I cannot get my light to shine on it. You see how it like disappears?
Mm-hmm.
This thing has been laying there every night for now months. Now, and I've been out walking, like I'll walk up to it and try to, and I can't see it. But you can definitely see
So
it.
it's not a log or nothing?
No, there's nothing there. No, there's nothing.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
and it's
weird.
not that, yeah, Jean said that is the shadow that I went to. Because I played it on my show with Grizzly, and they were saying that it looked like I was trying to pet it, but I wasn't. I was trying to figure out because I can only see this through the camera, the IR, and I think that's why it is, because the infrared. And so I'm trying to figure out where this thing is. You can even see it moving, like it sometimes it has, this is so weird. Sometimes it has little ears, and sometimes it looks just like a person. That thing kind of scares me, but I've done that, like like if it's anything demonic or whatever, I've like cat, you're not welcome here, blah blah blah, and
Right.
it doesn't affect it, and it really hasn't done anything negative. So I was told it could be one that was just like decided to guard the front yard for
What if
me.
what if it's the Indian?
I you know what? That is a good point. Yeah, it could be.
And by the way, perfect impersonation, by the way.
Yeah, right. This is so funny. Like
Possibly a new career for you, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so. My times are all off like crap. I don't know. We'll just do like whatever the next one is.
Okay, so let's minute
I'll
8.
describe it after. How about that?
Okay, all right. Here's one. Now, Barb, if you want to unmute yourself and explain this.
This is the one that is the alpha male. That is, hear those like squeaks and squeals. That's something like it's communicating with. That.
And this was all caught on a Ring camera or a security camera?
Yeah, an Arlo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that one, I was thinking maybe like a like an adult was maybe telling kids that were acting, maybe the little ones were acting up. I don't know.
Okay.
Right. Wow.
Here is 56-second one.
Yeah, so that one again I think that was the one that was the original recording of the Go Hide is at the beginning. So that was one that people felt like they could hear some human voices, and I don't know. But
yeah, that sounded more human, distant voices or something like that, or whispering, maybe.
Yeah, there are times that they make sounds though with their mouths that I think a lot of times when people are they think they're hearing wood knocks. It's not always wood knocks. They're actually making that sound with their mouth, is what I now believe.
Wow.
Interesting. One more, and this one looks like it's an audio one, the 57-second one. You sent me 2 audio files. One was the one with Go Hide.
Okay.
Here is this one. It sounded like a Bigfoot on a tricycle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think though, so I think that squeaking and that squealing, that's another, like I say, it's either a juvenile or it's a female. I'm not sure, but because it like I have so many of those, and it like you'll hear the and then you hear that squeaking, like it's communicating back and forth. Also, one of my friends that has done this, some of the amplification, he said that the ones that he deals with, they do this like whisper talk, like if they know that you're listening to them and they don't want to be heard. And he thinks that there's a lot of that going on too. I don't know.
Wow.
Interesting.
So.
You guys mentioned that Indian picture, and we have that one.
Yeah. So if you look at the box at the bottom that says Silvertone and just go straight up, and
it's pretty obvious.
And see,
about 3/4 of the way up. Yeah.
And this was I got this on a video, and he kind of just like appeared. And then I thought, well, wait, maybe it's the tree. But then I went back, and you could see like where he's gone. He's there, and then he's gone. And I went back. I went out though the next day, and tried to, like, it was the same time of day, so like with the lighting, and it's not. It was not there. So definitely was something. And
I see it that it's pretty obvious myself.
Yeah. I mean, I thought, I was like, oh my gosh. And unfortunately, like with this one. With this photo is because I have it in the Silvertone, which brought out the features the best. But
Right.
when with the natural or the other filters, you could see that it was like, at first I was like, wait, is that a person? But then you could see that it's the color of its skin like change. Like, no, that's not. This is something. This is not a person. This is not like a,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, it does look like it's blocking out that tree that's behind it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think this picture, honestly, I'm a real big critic on like the paranormal pictures and stuff. And I think this is a pretty incredible picture myself.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the Native American that came out and showed me him. Yeah, there was a large population that lived here at one point, and I just wonder if if it's like a guardian of the land. They say that there's land spirits, and if it's something, I don't know.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. I don't know. Like I said, I see a lot of paranormal pictures, and it actually, like you said, it blocks out the tree.
Yeah.
It just,
I mean, it doesn't even look like you could see through it. So I mean, it completely blocks it. So
yeah, I know that is what is so strange, because it's so solid.
I think it's a pretty compelling picture myself.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty hard on pictures, honestly.
Well, that's I have, like I told Paul, I sent him, like I have like 12,000 pictures and hundreds of videos. It's like, so I don't like to get rid of, because I do want to go through them, and it takes so long. It takes a long time, but I don't want to miss anything. As I was looking for the photos today, through my photos and videos earlier today, I'm like, well, no, wait a minute, what is this? It was a video. I'm like, what is this? And I know that I've never seen this before. It it looked like the back of a Sasquatch that's like sitting down. You can see the cone head and the shoulders. I have to watch it a little bit more, and then I'll show it to people. I can send it to you guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never noticed that before.
Right.
And the only reason I think I had kept it was because we had changed the view of the front of the camera that's in the front porch. We changed the view of that, and that is where, once we changed that view, about a week later is where that black figure that showed up laying there, and it's there every single night. And I don't even know what to.
No, you also sent me one that would look like it was a footprint.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Measured it. So let me.
Oh, okay.
Let me share that.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. I'm getting good at this sharing thing now. There we go.
You're no pro now.
This is such a cool app. Let me see what it's called. So I don't. It is called Scaniverse.
Scaniverse.
Yeah, it's an app, and it does like a LiDAR recreate whatever, like a LiDAR. And so you don't have to cast it's the ground here it's either wet, or it's too hard, or it's too porous, so it's not good at all. A couple times I tried to cast, I'm like, forget it. What am I going to do anyway? Like, have a bunch of footprint casts around? I know that, I mean, like, I know they're
gotcha. I hear you.
So awesome. And this is it was so weird, because like I could see if but you have to have the ability like to like turn it, and and like you can see underneath, like you could see that there were toes and everything. And I also love how it how you can measure right from the app. So this is about like a 12-inch foot. This is probably this is a juvenile or a female. I don't know. I mean, that's not that big of a foot, and it's skinny, so maybe it's a young female. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they know.
No, just walking by this in the forest, I would just walk on past this. I wouldn't even recognize this as a footprint.
Yeah, well, this is actually in our yard. This was actually like in
cow.
like one of the because they're definitely that's where I you wouldn't even be able to see anything like that in the forest, because it's just it's like littered with forest like stuff. And there was an area that I found about 20 footprints, and they had left, I believe it was a glyph, because we had a big pile of leaves. We were piling all the leaves there, and then before we take the leaves off site or compost or whatever. And come out one day and there's they had made like a big circle like within the leaves, and there was a glyph in there. So I'm like,
wow.
in the world, I mean, what? And so then after my husband and my son-in-law, when they take the leaves away, then I see like there's about 20 footprints. It was like, oh my gosh. But unfortunately then that was all disturbed because we had like septic issues. So that was like, had to not like dug up, but that was all moved away,
Right.
and then I was like, oh, well, there goes the footprints and whatever, there's the glyph, but now they've made another glyph. So that's where I found this footprint, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And they also, there's some trees that are laying there just, getting seasoned, like burn them, and they're have peeled the bark off of the trees, and they're kind of like digging in the trees.
Okay.
And yeah, so I unfortunately I can't see that. They're like right outside of the camera view. So
Right.
they're like, oh, here's a great place that they can't.
Yeah.
But they can you go back to that one, because I did want to mention it, the video of that I'm shining the light on that thing, on that
black and white one.
Because the other thing I wanted to tell you about, take note or make note of, is that they manipulate cameras, they manipulate lights. You can see that it's a driveway light that we have, or more like a street light at the entrance of our driveway. And you can see that they're turning it off and on.
I didn't notice that.
See that in the video.
Okay, here that is. Hang on.
Yeah, so it's going to be up at the right. Okay, so it's dark. Right top. And you'll see the light go on, and then it goes off again, I believe.
The flashlight going through there.
Yeah.
That is just kind of weird, man.
It is. It's really weird. Oh, come on. I hope this is. Gosh, there it is. See it?
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What the
And
heck?
so that's clearly not your flashlight, a reflection of your flashlight,
No.
because it's not moving.
Yep. No, that's a big, that's like on a pole, up on a pole.
Wow. Did you notice it while you were out there?
No, because you know what it would do? They would do it so frequently, and then it's almost like one night I was carrying a Christmas wreath up to hang on the gate, and it's dark without the lights, like it's pitch dark, and so I'm carrying this big wreath, and I'm like, okay, good, the light's on. Then the light goes off. I'm like, come on, God, like, come on.
Right.
So I got to the gate and it turned back on. And so we've now, my husband changed changed the light, and it's some kind of like some kind of light that I don't know about technology, that it's supposed to be like, it can't be affected by like signals or whatever, because it's a dusk to dawn. They haven't messed with it. But what they are doing now is I can see they'll flash the infrared light. You can see it flashing sometimes. We're still going to mess with this.
Yeah.
A couple of people missed it. Let's play it one more time.
Sure.
So you're going to want to look on the right side of the driveway.
Like the top right.
Top right.
Yep. It's toward the end.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think I can fast forward it.
No, yeah. Well, in the meantime, just enjoy me trying to get my flashlight to go on to that thing.
I thought I actually saw something up in is that a little carport up there? I thought I saw something move up there, but
you could.
I didn't see it.
You could, because I see movement everywhere. Now there's like a group of something that sits behind that thing.
There it is.
There's like,
actually, you can't back that up or timestamp it. It almost looks like, play that one more time. It looks like something comes from behind the car, on the side of the car.
Oh my gosh.
It goes towards the light, and the light comes on. Watch that.
So right on the edge of the tree, right?
Yeah,
Are you
look
talking about
where the car is. Look where the car is. And
Okay.
it looks like it comes running out from the other side of the car there, and then the light comes on.
Okay.
There.
Oh,
Did you see it?
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Okay.
I've never noticed.
Look. Okay. Did you see it, Krista?
I did.
Okay. So, okay, on the very bottom, underneath the car, you're going to see like a streak come through. Let's play it one more time.
Yeah. And if you guys can make it big on your screen, because that's what I did. I've got it just that on my whole screen.
I'm gonna play this on my big TV after this. I never noticed that.
And see, I thought I saw something on the left side, like something move out, but it wasn't. It wasn't. So watch the bottom of the car.
Yes. And there's no flashlight shining at the time on the car when it happens.
Oh, I missed it.
I saw it. You can't blink your eyes. You gotta.
No, and you know what? If you notice, there's like, I don't know if it's an orb, what, like something like goes up, like literally like up, like flies up, almost like it's like a distraction too. Because I was like, oh, what's that? But because I did see it the first.
Yeah, put it on your TV. Put it on your TV.
Yeah.
It's quick. It's real quick. Or you can at least pause it and go back to it.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. See, it's so good to have other people like looking
Let us know. Let us know what it's like on the TV.
Yeah.
It could be nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it could be just a bug or something. But,
but there have been times that I've, you definitely.
It's just kind of weird that it comes from that area and then that light goes on.
Well, you know what? It's funny though. Well, not really. Like coincidentally, a couple weeks ago, we were at babysitting our grandson. So we were at my son's for a couple days, and we come home and it's about 9 o'clock, so it's dark. And my husband was opening closing the gate, and he was, I think, getting the mail. So he's out of the car. I'm just sitting there in his truck, and I heard like a big, like a thunk, and I thought, wow, is that like, I don't know what that was. So I rolled down the window, and like I took some pictures, and you can see like looks like big eye shine right in that area. And so I know that they're there. I also feel like, I think that the juveniles like to play on the roof of the carport. Because I've also I think that they like to play on our roof too, like a portion of like right above where the where that camera is on the top deck, because you can hear the like. So
do you ever notice any dents on the carport at all, or
no? But I'll have to ask my husband to get up there, because I said to him, like, watch for that. It's we need to replace the roof anyway. It's like an old carport that was there. So so
yeah,
very cool.
I wonder if insurance would cover that.
I don't know.
I mean, hail damage.
Well,
Bigfoot damage.
No, I know. It's funny because we did have a leak in the garage, and it was so weird. And I think that's where they're getting on the roof. And so I said to my husband, "Do you think?" He goes, "I don't know." So, but anyway, they just like sealed it. There were some roof tiles that had been like lifted up. Now, why would there just be like a few of them? And just a weird thing. But yeah, so now it does not was able to stop the leak.
Wow. Justin says he had something on his roof a few weeks ago.
Oh wow, yeah.
I've never had that happen. That would scare me.
Apparently that's so common. Robin Haynes said that the juveniles will get so bad, like she'll have to go out and like yell at them, like, stop it. Wow. So yeah,
I don't want that.
They also one night I was like, what is this noise? And we figured out, I think that they were blowing in the downspouts, because it was once you figure it out, you're like, oh, that's what it is. Like, what is that noise? once you figure it out, that's exactly what it was.
Wow.
What does this do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, having juveniles walk around on your roof, that's
Crazy.
It is. And it's like, and
Yeah.
and people are, oh, you go out and look. No, I don't. Because I'm not ready to see that. Like, I'm just not. Like, it's one thing. All this stuff is great. It's see him 6 feet. That was a little too close. But I don't want to go out and have one like peeking down, looking at me like
Right.
at night, 2:00 in the morning or whatever.
Yep.
It's,
should somehow mount a camera up on your roof to kind of
Right. That's
look
what I'm
over
saying.
the roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We had my husband one time thought that he could, like trick them, and had put there was a ladder, and he had the ladder and had a game camera on the ladder, like right underneath where the actual, security camera is. He's like, let's see what we get. You know what? They threw things. Like, you could see them throwing things at the cameras. Like, they were throwing little pine cones and rocks. Like, they knew it was there, and they're like, no, we see that. We're not. I mean, I guess, that's what, because it was so hilarious. I'm like, look at this.
Wow.
I mean, who else is throwing things? Because they'll do that sometimes. And so I know that they know that I'm watching, but the camera, because they're the IR, you can literally see like the little red circle, will come on when the camera comes on.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
So I'll hear like a tink, or like yeah.
Yeah, we have cameras all around the outside of our house, and I think the only thing that I've ever captured was a coyote or a fox.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which is, but I don't know, like, if you think that you have any sort of activity of anything, like, just watch the cameras, and it's amazing, some of the things, and it's freaky, and like a little bit like it's scary, because like I'm like, what is all this that's going on? But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, also big spiders right on the camera.
Yeah, ew.
Yeah. Actually, we had one spider before we had the exterminator come out and clean it up. It came back every year. I'm sure it was a different one, but we named it Steve, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where are you at, Paul? What state are you in?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
He's only about 30 minutes from me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
I wish I wasn't so far from everybody, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I guess then I might not have them living in my yard.
Yeah, we don't have anywhere I'm at right here, around us. So I have
Yep.
Although I have heard reports that down by the Mississippi, which is really close to me, like maybe 5 miles, not even 5 miles away, there's some right down there. There's a big wooded area, one of the trails there. And
there's definitely in Missouri. There's a huge population. I feel like that's one of the top, maybe number 4 or 5 of reports of them.
Yeah, we have a lot of reports here.
Yeah.
We're down on Lake of the Ozarks, down there in the Ozarks Mountains. Didn't you say on Zombie Road?
Yeah, so Zombie Road, which is actually it's St. Louis County, and St. Louis is very, very populated. But a friend of Brandy and I, him and his daughter actually saw a Bigfoot cross the river right there, and he was on Zombie Road.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty populated in that area. I mean, it's just, so I believe they can be anywhere.
Isn't that, that's what they say. And that they also people have said that they feel that they like test their powers, of camouflage or whatever, by going out and doing, it's just, it's amazing. You just, I say this all the time, the more that I get into it, the more questions I have. And I love, so I started my page because I was tired of going on to pages where like you ask a question and you're like crucified, like, oh, you're, and like, wait, this is a Bigfoot believers page. What's going on? So I thought, well, I'm just going to, and then Bettina had helped, like she said, why don't you do your page, your rules? So, and you and Bettina helped me, and I'm so thankful for that, like grow the page. And, and so just being able to share my experiences. And then Grizzly Chris had asked me to do a podcast with him after he heard my story. And I'm so thankful for that, because I love talking to people. You know,
Right.
it's so great. It's so therapeutic. And the things that you know, I may not think it's a big deal. I may not think it's anything, but then somebody else will say, oh, well, this happened. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know that was.
And it's amazing the people you meet, you know, doing these shows and stuff too, you know, and the friends you make, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I'm trying to get your Facebook page, or your YouTube page, the link on there, but I do have it in the show notes.
Okay.
The No Drama Bigfoot and Cryptids.
Yep.
And and it's, so you can either, I think you can, like, as far as the YouTube, it's Barb Hartman, and then No Drama Bigfoot and Cryptids, and it's small, and but I try to put there's good audio on there. And I tried it, and I'm very, like, challenged, like, technologically, you know, it's so I don't have a lot of videos and stuff on yet. So I apologize if it looks ridiculous. Certainly not.
Here we go. I just got it. Hang on. I'll put it in the chat. And it is on the show notes, but here it is. Come on.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sure.
Very cool. Yeah, Barb, it's a shame you're way up there, though, because, you know, there's so much going on in the Midwest that.
Yes, I know. Well, you know, I think my husband's planning on retiring, like, within the next year or two. So probably do a lot. Well, you know, we plan on doing a lot of traveling. And so that's what we're going to do. So, yeah.
Good deal. Well, let us know if you get down this way into Missouri.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I would love, you know, I told Krista that I did, you know, I lived in a haunted house at one time, and I've seen, like, spirits, you know, throughout my life at one point or another. And I was really, like, scared to be involved in any of that, but it's like, I feel like I could, watching your ghost hunts, I feel like I could do that if I was, like, around friends that I felt safe with.
Well, we'll take you. Come on down anytime.
Yeah, come on down.
Thank you, Pamela. You guys, I can see these. The comments are so sweet. Thank you for these nice comments. Oh, thank you, Pamela. That's so sweet.
It is very, very interesting and fun watching your page, all the stuff that you have on there. I mean, it's not much, but it is really interesting. Very.
There's a fine line, like, oversharing and thinking like everything is something, and I really try not to do that, you know. But I also I had said this before, like, as far as with people posting, I would literally, now I know people are not going to agree with this, I would rather somebody post, like, a hoax and then they'll get found out, because once people find out that you're like, as far as I'm concerned,
your reputation is everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's been a couple people that I was very disappointed in finding out that, you know, that they fake and they hoax. So, but, you know, rather than attacking something that is real, and that person is very emotionally, like, attached to, you know, it is, because it's like, you put yourself out there and you look like a nut job with some of this stuff. But I want people to feel comfortable. It's therapeutic to be able to talk about this and share these things. And then obviously we learn so much.
Yeah. And we're all trying to figure out the same thing, and no judgment here. I mean, it's fun. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on this show. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Thanks for coming on. It's been very, very interesting. And I appreciate you sending all the videos and the audio files and the pictures.
Yeah, for sure.
And it seems like everybody has liked it. So
thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah.
All right, Barb. Well, I appreciate you spending your Saturday evening. See, I'm thinking it's Friday.
Hey, Catherine, love you, Catherine. Oh, I love Catherine. She's so sweet.
So again, you know, I shared the link. It's in the show notes. Go on over there and subscribe to her page. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Blondes and the Booze. And
Thank
And
you.
also BMR, he'll be on with you guys and text tonight.
Yeah.
11
So,
o'clock Central. So
yep. In an hour and 15 minutes, we'll be
Okay.
live.
Yep.
And it'll be on Bigfoot Michigan Rob's channel.
Awesome. Awesome.
BMR. And one thing that I did forget to mention, and I forgot to do this, I just got home like a half an hour before the show started. I was going to put on, talk about Krista's show last night when you had Al on. At 15 minutes, 24 seconds of your show, Al's talking. He takes a pause, and you hear somebody whisper, "No."
Yeah, I did hear it. I did go back and listen. I think I messaged you that I heard it.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you know, for those of you watching, a lot of the viewers on here watch your show as well.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Go back in and watch that. It's at 15:24.
Okay.
So go back in and watch that.
15:20. Yeah, I want to mark that down because I want to watch that. Cool. Wow.
All righty, guys. Thank you all very much for being in the chat. We appreciate it. And I know that a couple people have said they subscribed to you, Barb. So
thank you. Thanks.
thank you all for that. We appreciate it.
And we'll see everybody over at Bigfoot Michigan Rob's.
Head on over there. I will go there for a little bit. I will probably be falling asleep soon. So
We'll forgive you since it's Saturday.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Everybody.
you.
Everybody
Thanks,
have a
Barb.
great night. Have a great
Night.
weekend. Stay safe out there. We will see you next Saturday right here on Paranormal Among Us. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night. Thanks, everybody.